Hello boys, Feet here. So recently I finished the Flesh and Faith DLC. I played both Oath Takers and Anatomist. Took me how long? 2 months? Maybe three? Probably two. I like it a lot. Small DLC, but there's a lot for the game. So I'm going to talk a bit about them, about the Anatomist and Oath Takers. And I'm like, why not talk about them all, right? While I'm at it. And also, why not rank them into a tier list? I know people love themselves some tier list. So here we go. 5 tiers. S, A, B, C, D. The S tier will be the probably the strongest and the most fun to play company with something special. Usually they're gonna have something special with them. A tier will be fun and strong to play for sure. But they might lack that little bit of special spark. All right, that the S tier has. B tier will be the normal everyday company, like like the standard company. Tutorial one. C tier will be the ones that is kind of boring, slow to start, with nothing going on for them even in the late game, things like that. And D tier is specially reserved for the Manhunters, but I will talk about them a bit later. All right, let's start out with I don't know. Let's start out with the B tier, right, in the middle. The B tier, I think, right, it's gonna be new company. Hogart. What is it called? I don't know. Tutorial. I don't know what it's called. Rebuilding, maybe. Yeah, here we go. Rebuilding company, new company, and Southern Mercenary. They are all right. Normal. They have nothing going for them. Well, nothing special, but also no disadvantages. Standard starts. 3 bows, 1 range, one melee guy, one kind of sucky guy. The rebuilding company is, it has a special place in my heart because it's the first company, right? How many times have you guys fought Hogart? All right. I like the wiki here. It has a lot of details. You start out with a lot of money, and you have the Hogart fight to begin with, which is pretty cool. I prefer Hogart to New Company because it's like an easy fight that you can get done early, get some extra XP, get a little bit of decent gear early on. And late game, you got this event, which is really cool. I'm not going to spoil that. All right. New company. Interesting. They do start out with a lot of gold. I think that a Hogart company pays, the Hogart contract pays 400. So this is like, make up for that. It's cool. Nothing special, of course. I also like the Southern Mercenaries. They start out in the south, which is a good place to start out, I think. Nomads and cutthroats are a bit stronger than raiders in my opinion, even in the early game. But they do start out in the south. Maybe can do some arenas. They have some cool weapon to start with. The hammer and the fire lance that can burn thugs really well early on. So yeah, actually I prefer the south more than the north. All right. How about, let's keep going. How about the poachers? I like poachers a lot. Where are they? Start with 3 archers, or 1 hunter, two poachers, and you can move faster, and you can see what are in the camps, even the one that you can't see into, which is really nice. I love this. I love this benefit that they have. But well, you can carry less items, which is not the biggest deal. But I don't know. Every time I have to throw loot away, I hate it. So, but I think I think this company is really fun. This thing make up for that for sure. The faster movement and the scouting makes up for it. And starting out with 3 good archers means that by day 20, 25, 30 or so, 40, is when you fight a lot of raiders normally, and your archer is going to dominate them, and you're going to have easier time against raiders. So That's pretty nice to. That's really nice. Some of how does not like you, but it doesn't matter too much. All right, move speed 111 instead of 105. Is that a big deal? I'm not so sure. Doesn't seem like the biggest deal. Really? Just 6 movement more? Ah. Alright, just know that it's faster, alright? I like them. I'll put them... The thing is... Well... The thing is they are not that... They aren't too special. And they can be a bit slow because you start out with 3 range unit and you don't have any good melee fighter. And range early on is not the most... It's not the most reliable. So I want to put them in A, but maybe high B. Maybe low A, high B. Let's put them high B right now. Right, next up is Beast Slayer. Beast Slayer is sucky. I don't like them. You and your men make your living by hunting down the many beasts that beset villages. But yada yada. It's dangerous work, but it pays well enough, and there's always a bigger beast to slay and more crowns earned. Alright. So I think their vibe is cool. Hunting beast is cool. You started with 3 beast slayer, which are good brothers, good stats, decent equipments too. I think there's you start out with really good equipments. Hunting boar spear, spatum, and some bow something. They're really nice. You can see check from further away. Oh, I didn't know that. See check from further away. It's like you have the lookout, but you don't know what the track, whose the track belongs to. It's not the biggest bonus. Each beast you slay has 50% chance to drop an additional trophy. That's nice and all. I like crafting thing a lot, but a lot of the crafting has, especially the potion crafting, has been rendered a bit redundant because of the southern city just selling potion like all day every day. So, and you know, hunting beasts in general is not the best bang for your buck. Beasts are scary, beasts are dangerous, and they don't usually give you, you know, equipment, gear, loot. I do like to hunt them though. I like fighting them a lot. But anyone can hunt them. They don't hunt them any better. They just get more reward. And people don't judge your kind, so get worse price. Worse price. Pretty bad, right? You're gonna feel that throughout your playthrough. I don't think money is the biggest deal in this game, but still, 10% worse. You know, I don't think this, you know, like the extra trophy, I don't think that makes up for this. Yeah, you start out with 3 level 2 beast slayers, pretty good. Not the most money to begin with, but okay. So, also, right, like the brothers, one of them start out with a temporary injury, and I think you start out with pretty bad mood. So, bad mood to begin with. You have a doggo to start out with. Okay, interesting. I think they have a very slow start because of the low mood and the injury. And also this is pretty bad. Like the price is pretty bad. So C tier they go. C tier is slow start, boring. You know, nothing special going on. Raider, I like Northern Raider. Barbarians are really cool. Start out with 3 high level barbarians. They are very strong. They have good good stats, good stars. Bad relation to most human factions. Yeah, 2 faction you will start out red with. One will hate you, the other one will dislike you, but they will become normal in maybe 30 days or so if you don't raid them. And you have more chance to get... I thought it was armor only. You can loot 0% armor from them, so you don't need to puncture that much. Oh, you start with a monk and 3 level 3 barbarians. Good amount of money to start. I mean, good loot to start with a war dog. Low money, but you have some loot. Right, you start in the north, right? And I like to just go down south and raid the caravans on the way, get some extra money in there. Your guys are level 3 to start with, so your caravan is no problem. And raiding early on is really, really nice, right? Not the best thing long term, but in short term you gain so much. You know, you gain equipment, you gain money, you gain XP, easy. Very explosive start, very high level brother. You can raid early. I like them a lot. A tier they go, you know. Quick explosive start, strong brother. Yeah. You get money early on, later on you repair relation and everything's fine. Okay, Cultist. Cultist has a special place in my heart. I love seeing my brother get stronger, you know. What I like the most about BB while playing BB is making good bros. Making god bros with tons of stats, cool builds, good you know, with fame items. And Cultist give me exactly that. They can be a bit hard to start out with because, you know, you start out with some Cultists. Equipment is not the worst. Equipment is decent. You can get equipment early pretty easily. But Davko will sacrifice people like every few days. I mean, okay, sacrifice every once in, I don't remember, maybe 2 weeks or so. You can get, yeah, this company can get the Davko armor easier, I think. You can convert people to cultist. So can be annoying because you can't just hire everyone, because if you hire a bunch of normal people, every time Davko sacrifice someone, those guys will be very upset. So you're gonna have to deal with that. They are a bit to start out with, but I love their late game potential, and I like trying to manipulate the event, how to convert the correct people, how to sacrifice the correct people, how to buff up your team more. You know, you can only convert lowborn, but you can convert brain damage. So potentially you can convert brain damage, Hedge Knight, and Cell Sword and stuff like that, and make them into god tier brothers. So yeah, they aren't the most explosive start, but their late game potential is super nice. It's like probably the best. One of. Individually, each brother probably the best. And like the Davko, the Davko sacrifice and then ranking up of the cultists is super cool, I think. I love them. One of my favorites, if not my most favorite. Okay. And also Davko armor, right? I don't know if I ever gotten the full Davko armor set. I think the armor I might have found once or twice, but the helmet is the really hard one to find. But I think they have the best chance to find it. Alright, let's go to Gladiator. Gladiator is also one of my favorites. The game read these 3 skulls, but I don't think so. I think they are one of the easiest to play. Super explosive start. All level 3 gladiators, which are crazy with their special traits. One guy is basically immune to morale attack, one guy is super tanky, and one guy have some extra action points and being a prepare fencer. So 3 gladiators with really good equipments, very high daily wages. I don't think that's matter too much. Money is not the biggest problem. And as gladiator, early on you try to hack the arena, and that just pay for itself. Like that just pay your daily wage. Yeah, unique trait is super cool. The Viper is my favorite. You can not have more than 12 men though, yeah. So if you have only 12 in a team, that is a small problem. And by the small one, I mean big one. That means you can't have any bench. That means you can't swap anyone out. That means you need to build a team that can do any fight, right? Some fights range are good, some fight range are bad. some fights you don't need a tank, some fights you do. But now you do. You need to, build a a one team that is good for all, which is really hard, and you will never get the optimal team. Also, I really want. I try to constantly buy more brothers to keep improving the team. So in order to buy a new one, I need to kick an old one. So basically, I can only play with 11 brothers, and then the 12th slot is there to try out people. If I find a better one, I will just kick the worst one. So I can have only 11 people usually, but the 3 gladiator, they just carry you anyway. So it doesn't matter that much really. Oh, the gladiator from this origin have a base weight of 50 instead of 35. Are, are those the 3 original gladiator maybe? Ah. Alright, I mean, the weight is annoying, but not the biggest problem, and their strength easily makes up for it. Yeah, so explosive start, cool brothers, I like them. S tier right there. Alright, okay, let's talk about Manhunters. Manhunter, there's one tier down in here in hell just for them. These guys suck. So bad. I think they got buffed recently with the Flesh and Faith DLC. They make indebted level up faster instead of slower than normal. Alright, so you start out with 2 Manhunters and 4 indebted, right? You can take 16 men to battle just like Peasant Militia, which is really strong. But having equal fewer indebted than non-indebted will make your men dissatisfied. Okay, so you must have more indebted than normal people in the fight and in the team. I played this a long time ago. I don't remember exactly anymore, but I remember that it was a pain. Alright, so if you bring 16 men to battle, right, you can't bring 8 because then, right, you can't have equal. You have to bring 9 indebted and 7 normal. That's the maximum of normal people you can bring. And well, having 16 people is cool, right? But the thing is, and this is 16 people that can hire a hedge knight and hunters and things like that. The thing is, I have to use my hedge knight and hunters to not fight, but to whip my plebby indebted so that they can actually fight like a normal person. That is, I don't know, that is not fun at all, dude. And you need to bring 9 indebted and 7 normal people. And also your team must have to be the same too. You can carry 12, 25 people. So you need to have 13 indebted and 12 people. Or else every day you will have a mood hit if you have equal or less indebted than normal people. And if you take every fight you take, if you have equal or fewer indebted, then take a mood hit too. So this is the only company that mood is a really big problem, and I find that managing the mood here is a real pain. You can capture indebted from random fights, which is cool. Thing is, I just hate having to use my good people to whip my indebted so that they can fight like normal people. Right? It's like it's like fighting with 10 people that are sucky because they can only get to level 7. Oh my god, I hate them so much. I don't know why they designed them this way. I can understand that they want you to play in a different way, but this is not how you do it. This is just annoying. And buff up indebted can be strong, I think. They start can maybe even surpass level 11 per people. And every time you whip them, their mood get reset, so maybe they are less vulnerable to mood attack. But still, right, this is no fun to play at all. DTR, there they go. Okay, there we go. Oath Takers, the new boy in the hood. I think they go to S tier. I like them a lot. So, Oath Takers. They are cool, right? They are really cool. You start with 2 battle hardened warrior. Actually, only one. One guy is old and sucky. The other one is a pre-built fencer, which is a god. So you start with the one guy basically. The other guy is is me. Can be a banner, but do you want a banner that has no HP and fatigue to rally? I don't know. Alright, so you start out with the banner and the necklace right away, which is really nice. I don't know why, but you start out with the least money maybe compared to everyone else. This guy started out with 1500. I started with 500. Why? Also, why do I have 2 arrows? Why do I have to have 2 arrows? Just make it 0, man. I don't. It's not like I care. Anyway, can only have 18 brothers instead of 20. Not the biggest problem. I love that they start out with a pre-built fencer. That is, early fencer is one of the most fun thing to have early in this game. And the biggest thing about Oath Taker is that they take oath instead of ambitions, which is okay. Let's talk about the downside first, right? A downside is that you can't take ambition, which means no trophies, no undead trophies that make you immune to geist and priests and things like that. No goblin trophy that make you immune to nets and like Kraken, and no orc trophy that make you immune to stun. So can be annoying. But I almost feel like it's a blessing because I do arena a lot. And every time I do arena, I need to swap those out. And every time I swap them out, I forget to swap them back in. And so it's almost like a blessing for me. But still, not having them is a pain. Especially for the fencer. The fencer who are vulnerable to net is really sad. But it's not the worst, honestly. And the oath can be bad, but it can be really good. Most of the oath I think are not the best because they are designed for a certain situation, and some of them have pretty bad downsides. So there is one where you can't move first turn, which sucks. There is one that makes you lose most of the XP you gain while fighting, which sucks. Let's see what else. Also, like also there's greenskin oath, the undead oath, and their beast oath, which make you really good against those specific enemies, but make you sucky against the rest. So you're not gonna be fighting beast all day every day. You're not gonna be fighting undead all day every day. So you're gonna suck against the rest, which is also not ideal. But you can use those oaths to bust really hard locations like monolith and green like orc camps. Things like that, right? So they have really big power spikes when you hit the right oath. If you time your run, if you time your schedule with the right oath, you can really bust those things super early. So I like them a lot. They start out with the fencer, which is cool, and the oath is a new and fresh way to play the game. I like the oath a lot. Yeah, Estia. Now, like if you hit the correct oath, if you hit the undead oath while doing monolith, or if you hit a greenskin oath while doing Sea of Tents or Goblin City, you don't have the easiest time of your life, and you can do them so easy, so early too. So I like them a lot. All right, next up is Anatomist. Anatomist is alright. Anatomist is an oddball. Biggest problem with Anatomists is that they cannot be confident, right? And confidence is so important. I think we take confidence for granted, right? Never be confident. We kind of take this for granted and we never realize how really strong they are. I know that they are strong, but I didn't realize how bad it is to not have this at all. So, basically, your entire team is insecure, which is the worst trait in the game, by the way. But, right, if you look at that as a challenge, the game is harder, a lot harder when you play Anatomist, especially early on. So much harder, so much more painful. But you look at that as a challenge, that can be pretty cool, right? They are probably one of the coolest company. So they can get potions from enemies, and you can use each potion has certain bonuses, and you can make really cool brother with this. Most of the potion just give you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you know, a lot of them have some special cool things. Some can make you shield wall forever, every turn. Some can make you basically unkillable. Some combination make just make you unkillable. So right. I can't stress how bad it is to not have confidence, but just think of it as a hard mode for this game. And if you think it like that, right? This company is very cool. Potion is, you know, cool. It's powerful. It's strong. I don't think it make up for the no confidence, right? But if you want to play the game in hard mode, right? Challenge yourself. This guy will, you know, give you that challenge and the cool potion to go with it, and you can cook up. No pun intended. All right, you can cook up a lot of cool builds, right? With the potions. I haven't tried any specific build with this. I just use the potion to enhance my brows, and I find them really useful. But I will try to make some really crazy brows. Yeah, next time. All right, next up is a lone wolf. Lone wolf, I think, is the favorite for many people. I don't like them that much. I think they're quite boring. You start out with one guy, really strong guy, but he doesn't do anything, you know? He's boring AF. You know, like this, I have 3 super cool people. And here is one boring boy. You know, can be strong though. Very strong early on. I don't play them that much. I think it is okay. I almost want to put them in B tier, but that might be a bit too much. I will put them in A, right? They are a unique way to play the game for sure. At least they that. It can be fun to just go solo early on. What is it? Let me see. I don't play this enough. Yeah, this 12 men handicap is pretty bad, as I said. Your Hedge Knight has no wish, which is kind of cool, and you have extra 10 resolve maybe. Your Hedge, like, I don't know why he has to have -2 defense, right? Why, dude? So yeah, like why play Hedge Knight when you can play Gladiator, or you can have brain damage Cultist God Hedge Knight? Like why? He's, you know, I feel it's a bit boring. But sometimes it's kind of relaxing to just walk around with one guy and not worry about wages and things like that, and chopping up thugs with, you know, when you have crazy armor. I put them at A. Okay, Krav Hands, traitors. I don't like traitors that much, mainly because of their resolve, more renown gain. All right, you can wait. What now? Yeah. You can renown 66% normal rates. I think it used to be worse, but they buff it a bit. It's less painful, maybe. So having low renown early on is really bad because you want to get to professional ASAP for better contracts. 10% increase in selling price. Yeah, okay, the price is nice, but as I said, money is not the biggest problem in this game. And they start out with 2 Krav Hands, which are okay, and they do have decent equipment. But the renown gain is the biggest problem. And yeah, like usually I get to professional around you know, like maybe 18 to 20, maybe 22 at most. This guy is gonna take them like 30, 40 days, and it's annoying early on to do nothing but just hunting thugs and returning items, and then like, you know, patrol the road is really good. Like some noble house contract like patrol the road, Barbarian King, take down orc camps. Really good contracts, you know. Some are sucky, but some are really good. And these guys are missing out so much, especially early on. Yeah, really slow, really boring start. I don't like them. Only two people to begin with, too. But you know, lots of money, I guess. If you're a new player, this guy can be nice because you don't need to get to professional day 20. That's the thing. This game does not force you to follow any schedule. You can just play at your own pace. If that's your thing, then these guys are your guy, right? If you're, yeah, the money is gonna be good. You can just relax and chill, trade caravans, you know, protect caravans, defend some raiders. Yeah, yeah. Not my thing though. I like explosive stuff, and I like late game. I like explosive start. I like late game scaling, which which is this over here. Okay, but who are they? Oh, that's peasants. Okay. Okay. I mean, new company right here. This is peasants, and this is disorder. Sorry about that. Some of you peasant enthusiasts probably been screaming at me because I put peasant here. Peasant. Okay. I put peasant in 8 here. I think power level wise, they are the strongest in the game because they can bring 16 normal people into the fight. Those aren't hedge knights or hunters or anything, but they can get pretty close. They can get pretty close. And because they are all lowborn, you can hire them all and you can find the gems in the mud. You know, you can find the best of the brawlers, probably better than most hedge knights. 16 of them, you know, very strong. Um, yeah, you start out with 12 poorly equipped peasants, which is a bit of a pain to start out with. And you can't really sustain 12 people this early because the game scaled up too much. Usually, in the hardest difficulty, you will face 7 thugs on day 1. But if you're playing peasants, you're gonna face raider day 1 with low armor, you're gonna die. So usually I just sacrifice half of my team, or maybe 1/3 of my team, day 1, to whatever fight I find, to the first fight. Go down to a manageable number, let the game scale down, go from there. Yeah, of course, not having hunter and hedge knights and assassin sucks, but you know, the best militia, the best thieves, the best poacher, you can make up for it. And having 16 people definitely makes up for that, right? Yeah, a 16 lowborn, a max out 16 lowborn team is better than a max out 12 highborn team. Power level wise, they are so strong, right? Slap everything late game. But managing 16 people in every fight late game is a bit of a chore. Can get old real quick. So that's why I don't put them in the S tier. They go to the top 8 tier, I think. Yeah, strongest late game, but a bit boring, I say. 16 people is pretty much. But okay, one thing I noticed when I play these guys is that because you get to 16 people, you have 16 people, the game scale differently. You will face harder fight earlier. And you will face harder fight even later, right? Like the ceiling is higher for this company, so it can be fun to bust bigger camp. And you will see champion a lot earlier when you're playing peasants. Usually you won't be seeing a lot of champion before day 100 or so with normal team. But with peasants, I constantly find champion around day 40. So it can be very fun with that. Alright, last one is Disorder. Alright, Disorder, not a bad company. Not at all. They have this cool bonus that allow them to move first with their entire team first turn, which can allow you to get out of range of archers. Say you attack a goblin camp and they spawn on the high ground, you can get out before the shaman root you down and the archers start, you know, raining hell down on you. And if you get ambushed, you can reposition your team before they get to you, you know. So it's really good. It's just it's a good bonus. It's a really good bonus. Your brother will get no mood loss after reaching. Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Each brother is either a heavily. Okay, so they start out really sad though. You start out with 3 disorders. They have low. They are hurt. They're injured. Damaged equipment. Decent equipment though. So yeah, they start out with good equipment, but and you don't have to play with disorder. You can just kick them. You can replace them solely, and turn into a normal company. It's so slow though to start out with disorder. They can't really. They suck. Like they break so easily. They even have damage. They're even damaged to begin with. So they are a little bit just too slow to start with. But they can be fun later on. Well, there's not that much fun, but they can be decent later on. With this, I recommend you to just replace all the disorder at some point. Just play normal with the bonus. Or you can play deserter only, like some mud lads out there. It's alright, but I think they belong to C tier, right? Probably better than these guys because they do have that cool bonus. These guys, I don't like them. The worst, I think. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Cultists, Gladiator, Oath Taker, Anatomist. I think they're the coolest. They're the most fun to play and also most powerful later on. Not absolutely, but kind of. Peasants is the strongest late game, but they are all strong company. They are all cool. They're all explosive starts, but nothing special going, I think. Those guys are like the normal. I don't know about. I kind of like these guys. Do I go B or A? Alright, let's go A with those guys. No, the slow start, like they start slow, a bit slow, but then they pick up really fast once they are leveled up. But the inventory though, I don't know. It can be either A or B for me. Sure. All right, let's give them. I like them. Those are the 3 normal company. Those are the 3 sucky company, and that's the worst. All right, that's the tier list. I think explain them a bit. I like them all except for this one. But okay, if you think of this, if you think of the Manhunter as a challenge, I think it can be fun to play once every. At least play them once, maybe. I haven't beaten the game with them yet, right? I rage quit them last time I played them. I don't plan to play them again, but maybe one day, alright? Maybe one day. They did get buffed a bit. The only company that I haven't beaten the game with yet. Oh boy. I think they do have potential. When when you whip the indebted, they can become even stronger than a normal person. But you are using you are using a perfectly good brother to whip a level 7 brother so that they can be on par with a normal. I don't get it. All right, that's it for me. All right, I think this goes without saying, but this is my list. Right, that's how I rank them. That's how I like it. I will link the tier list in the description if you want to rank it yourself. You can do so, and you can link that to me so that I can see how you like to play the game. All right, I think they are all cool. They are all beautiful. Not all of them are created equal, but I like them all. And okay, let's talk a bit about these 2. Right, I think this DLC did a lot for the game. It doesn't change that much, but those 2, especially the Oath Takers, and kind of this guy. Okay, so this guy is like hard mode, right? No confident hard mode. Potion is cool, new. But these guys, they kind of give you a new way to play the game. You aren't bound by the ambition anymore. Now you just, like you pick the thing, you pick the oath, and you try to get the most out of it. You like your playstyle constantly change because sometimes you get to play with 14, sometimes you get to play with 10. Sometimes your brother can't use range. Sometimes, yeah, Like your playstyle constantly change with this. So I think it's really cool. All right, that's it for this video. Right, just want to talk about it a bit. Thank you for watching. By the way, if you like it, subscribe to the channel, maybe. More videos coming. And I will catch you next time. Video out.